Definitely, if an author uses AI to even make a bookmark now, we are publicly executing them in the town square. Honestly, the publishing industry is starting to sound less like a creative community and more like a digital witch trial.
That is
That
why
is
I
why
want to
I
have the
want to have the
conversation
conversation
nobody seems
nobody
willing to
seems willing to
have
have
with
with
actual
actual
nuance.
nuance.
Because
Because
no,
no,
up front,
up front, I'll tell you, I do not support AI generated books replacing human authors. Never have, and I never will. But I also think that this panic induced black and white thinking around AI is getting ridiculous, dangerous, and completely disconnected from reality. That's why in this, I'm going to talk about the Barnes and Noble controversy, what James Daunt, the CEO, actually said versus what social media claims he said, the future of AI in publishing, why pretending AI doesn't exist is a losing strategy for authors, and why we all need to stop attacking each other and start paying attention to the real issue.
let's start with
Let's
the
start with the
headline.
headline
Everyone
everyone
lost their
lost their
minds.
minds over. Social media started spreading the claim that Barnes and Noble CEO James Daunt basically said, I have no problem with AI books.
Now,
Now,
technically,
technically,
those
those
words
words
appeared in the
appeared in the
headlines,
headlines,
but that
but
is
that is
not the
not
full
the full
context of
context of
what
what
he
he
actually.
actually said. And listen, context matters, especially online where outrage spreads faster than facts.
I can
I
tell you
can tell you from firsthand. I can even tell you how many things of mine that I've said have been misquoted, misinterpreted, or flat out lied about. And if you know, you know.
so
So
because of
because
that,
of that,
I think it's
I
only
think it's
fair
only
for
fair for
me
me
to
to
give you
give
the
you the
actual
actual
quote
quote
from his
from his interview on the Today Show. Now, I'm going to read you word for word what he actually said. So, yes, I'm going to be probably looking at a prompt. He said, I actually have no problem selling any book as long as it doesn't masquerade or pretend to be something it isn't. So long as an AI written book says it's an AI written book and doesn't pretend to be something else, and it isn't ripping off somebody else, as long as it's clearly stated and the customers want to buy it, then we will stock them. Honestly, I don't think that's the most horrifying statement that people are pretending it is. If there's a public demand for AI generated books and they're transparently labeled, not pretending to be human created, then the truth is bookstores may eventually carry them. That's very different from saying AI books are amazing and should replace human authors. Those are not the same statements.
and what
And what
people are
people are
conveniently
conveniently
ignoring
ignoring
is that
is that
Don
Dawn
also
also
expresses
expresses
serious.
serious doubts that AI books would ever even gain meaningful long term traction in this market. He literally said he doesn't think they're likely to gain much commercial traction right now. So the internet took a nuanced statement, removed half the content, added outrage seasoning, and suddenly everybody's carrying pitchforks.
I, for
I, for
one,
one,
am
am
anything but
anything but
surprised.
surprised.
I've had it
I've had
happen
it
to
happen to
me.
me.
I still
I
have it
still have it
happening to me.
happening.
All right.
All right.
Now,
Now,
here's where
here's
some
where
people.
some people may get mad at me, but give me a few seconds and hear of your time and hear me out. I'm going to say it anyway, so here it is. AI is not coming, it is here. And it's not going away. And if anything, it's actually going to become more embedded and enmeshed in our everyday lives. You can hate that reality, you can fear it, you can protest it. That is your right. But pretending it doesn't exist, that is not a strategy. It's denial. And honestly, the author community right now reminds me so much of people back in the mid 90s refusing to embrace that crazy wild thing called the internet. You had people back then saying the internet is a fad. Nobody will ever buy things online. Real businesses don't need websites. Fax machines work just fine. This is going to ruin society forever. And what happened? The people who adapted survived, and the people who stuck their heads in the sand got left behind and look quite silly, right? And that's where we are now when it comes to AI. Now, let's make something crystal clear because I will be misquoted regardless, but at least there will be this reported evidence. I do not support anybody using generative AI to write a book and then publish it as if they wrote it. I don't support that now. I never have, and I never will. If you typed a prompt into an AI machine and it generated your book for you, you are not an author. You are a person operating a content vending machine. And honestly, it's no different than any business falsely advertising the authenticity of their product. If I buy handmade jewelry and later find out it was mass produced in a factory overseas, I'm going to feel deceived. Readers deserve honesty and transparency. It matters. But that does not mean every single possible iteration and use of AI technology is automatically the devil. And that's the part this conversation keeps missing. We're entering this really bizarre phase where some authors are acting like using AI for anything at all makes someone morally corrupt and worthy of being cancel cultured, blacklisted, or even sent death threats. Meanwhile, those same people are using Grammarly like it's nobody's business, or predictive text on their phones, or Amazon algorithms, or Google searches, or Canvas tools, or book title generators, SEO analyzers, social media scheduling tools that literally use machine learning. You guys, we've already been using AI for years. We just didn't call it AI yet. And I think we need to stop pretending there's no difference between using AI to help brainstorm social media captions versus generating an entire novel or your book cover. Those are not even remotely the same thing. And I think it becomes unrealistic now to expect indie authors, especially small indie authors who are pre-revenue and just trying to get their books out there, to avoid AI entirely in every single aspect of business. Using AI to help create an event banner, that should be fine. Using AI to help generate or organize market ideas, fine. Using AI assisted tools to improve workflow, fine. That is very different from mass producing fake books. Now, I know my words will be twisted by someone somewhere, but again, this will be on the record to prove what I really said. I absolutely believe authors should support human artists as much as possible, especially because artists, meaning those who help us by creating book covers and character art, they've supported authors for years. I personally do not think authors should rely on AI generated book covers or AI generated character art. If you can get a human artist to do it, human creativity, it does matter. And human artistry matters. There's something deeply special about human created storytelling and art that AI simply cannot, and I don't believe will ever replicate authentically. But again, nuance. There's a massive difference between commissioning a real cover artist, like a freelancer or service, and using AI to make a Facebook event banner for your local signing. One is replacing a creative professional human. The other is simply using modern technology to run your business more efficiently. If readers truly do not want AI generated books, then they will fail. That's how markets work. If consumers reject them, they will never gain traction. They won't dominate bookstores, they will never replace human authors, and they won't become sustainable. And that's exactly all that James Daunt was trying to say. He was never championing AI books. He was simply acknowledging the possibility that a market for those different types of books could exist someday. And bookstores have to follow consumer demand. So instead of wasting energy attacking fellow authors over whether they used AI to make an Instagram background, maybe direct that energy toward educating readers on why human creative books matter. Because that is where the actual power is.
Honestly,
Honestly, I think the real danger right now is not AI itself, not even generative AI. It's fear mongering, it's panic, it's mob mentality, it's authors blacklisting each other, threatening each other, and publicly shaming each other. There are literal lists. Do not read these authors' books because they created AI marketing. All over technology that most people barely even understand yet. And I'm sorry, but that behavior helps nobody. Especially does not help indie authors. We already have enough working against us in this industry. The last thing we need is to become each other's enemies as well. So here's where I stand once and for all. I believe human storytelling matters deeply. I believe authentic human creativity matters deeply. I do not support AI generated books being passed off as human created work, but I also believe AI technology is the future. And the authors who completely refuse to acknowledge it, learn it, let alone understand it, they're all going to be struggling, probably for the long term. Because whether we like it or not, this technology is not going away. And the people who learn how to use it ethically, responsibly, honestly, and strategically, they will be the ones who stay adaptable in a rapidly changing industry. So, my call to you, my mission to you, instead of canceling each other, instead of threatening other authors, instead of acting like someone is evil because they used AI to brainstorm a social media topic idea, maybe we should focus on the thing that actually matters: protecting authentic storytelling, supporting human creators, and making it very clear to the market that readers still value books written by real ass human beings. Now, if you have thoughts about this topic, and I know you do, I want to hear them. But let's try something just radical. Let's have an actual conversation, not a witch hunt. I posted about this on TikTok yesterday, and they're already coming at me. None of it is intelligent. None of it is any kind of position. It's just nonsense. So if you enjoyed this episode, share it with at least one other author. screenshot it and tag me on social media. And make sure you've subscribed, because next time I'm going to dive even deeper into another topic the publishing industry desperately needs to talk about. And until next time, write bravely, publish strategically, and stop letting internet outrage think for you.